Welcome in, everybody. It's the Coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be a good one between the New York Giants and the Seattle Seahawks. With that, let's get up to Seattle. Standing by at CenturyLink Field, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Coach, it is a sound like no other when they raise that 12th man flag here in Seattle. We just heard it, and that means it's time for football at CenturyLink Field. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New York Giants and the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stand an even keel, doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
I'm here all day. I'm here all day.
Now Wilson on first down. That's complete to DK Metcalf. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
This is Carson. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. And we take a look at the offense for the Seahawks.
And the schedule makers have given them a little break right here. Back-to-back home games, and they won last week. So they're trying to make it 2 in a row before they hit the road next week. They have to take advantage of this break in the schedule.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. Well, look now at our starting defense. Currently #1 in the NFL against the run.
Most of their challenges have come in the passing game because against the run, they've been pretty darn good. Now you've got to figure out a way to slow down those receivers before they get downfield and maybe make a few more plays on the ball when it's in the air.
What? 380. 57 for Mike. I got it.
From the gun on third down, Wilson. And he's got a man open. That's Allen. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on third down. They did. Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a third down and 6. On third down, Wilson. It's caught. Mitchell. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet. Get a little rack yardage. Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3. Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3. Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. And a glance here at the man calling the plays under center, their 6'4" quarterback. And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath. Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section. What did the columnist write? Possible air raid. So we'll see. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave away the game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Give them 18 there, and the Giants have a first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. The first carry for the former Nittany Lion. This is Saquon Barkley. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Giants. Saquon Barkley, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Giants have taken the lead. Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic. And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strike ability as we saw on that drive. I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do. PAT up and good by Rosas. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards. Well, that didn't take very long. You mentioned you have to keep him under wraps. Avoid the big play is what you said, and here he makes one in the first quarter.
Yeah, you can't let this become a habit. Otherwise, you know what will happen? He'll flat out take over this game.
On first down, it's Simon. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd and a yard, Wilson. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Throwing is Wilson. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19.
We always talk about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal? That's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. Bullock's kick is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So 2 first-quarter field goal attempts for him, and he's converted on both.
I like the positive right there. 2 for 2, got the points on the board. The negative side is they didn't score touchdowns. And, of course, going forward in this game, that's going to be the aim, and hopefully he'll be kicking extra points instead.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. So officially now a 1,000-yard campaign for him, but I don't think he's going to take his foot off the gas pedal. Yeah, it's one of those thoughts, though, that creeps into your mind because there is a little mini celebration over on the sidelines. Everybody, hey, job well done, over 1,000 already. But guaranteed, as you noted, someone's jumped in that huddle and said, a lot more to be done, guys. Let's not, you know, would you say, take your foot off the pedal? Let's not do that right now. But there is that possibility as people can get self-satisfied. The greats do not. We'll find out what he's made of. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Switch it. Come on, switch it. Kill.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And the starting offense now for the Giants.
And we expected to have already talked about this unit. We didn't get a chance to hit on them on the opening drive because they scored so quickly. But that's the kind of unit this is. A quick strike offense. I expect to see them taking their shots all game long. And if that's the case, we'll find ways to talk about this group.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. Got what he needed for the first down with a gain of 2. From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. Now Saquon Barkley. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
7 yards there and a first down. They're going to look to throw. Open target here, Darius Slayton. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After one, a 1-point game, 7-6. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10, right at the 40. And he'll give it here to his running back. They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
He can't hang. He's not going to get lock it.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive.
Bravo!
53 at the mic.
Hey, let's get some pass.
They'll set up a throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jaron Reed muscles his way in for the sack. And they weren't in zone coverage, they were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
And off the crossbar, no good. A sensational effort from that distance, but rejected by the bar. And this score will stay right where it is. All things considered, a pretty good kick, just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck, and unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
But you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Watch the slant. Watch the slant.
They run it with Carson. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. On 2nd down, it's Simon. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. On 2nd down now, it's Carson.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Now Wilson. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
Goal line offense, something they've really been emphasizing in practice lately. Now they have a chance here to put all that hard work to use. They go play action here on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on first and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
They'll try again on second and goal after going backwards to the 12. Here's Carson. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
This will be caught just inside the 10. Able to hold him to just 2 yards, and now it's 4th and goal.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. And Bullock will put this one through, and they jump back in front here. It's 9-7. So that one is his 3rd of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Okay, can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. And now out come the Giants. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Saquon Barkley running right. 27 yards there, a first down.
Here we go.
Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. He'll look to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Here we go on 2nd and 12. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Well, look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
Let's get off the field.
On 2nd and 9, Wilson. And it's complete to Mitchell. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 10 yards and a Seattle first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. First down, Seattle, 16 yards, the gain there. Wilson now nearly perfect, 9 of 10 in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Now Wilson. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a third down. They wound up getting nothing out of that second down completion, so now here's 3rd and 10. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Nothing open downfield, and he had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. Became an all-arm throw, trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. And New York set to take the field. Under a minute to play here in the half. Time for a late drive.
It makes sense when you think about it. Hey, try and get a field goal. Give yourself a lead going into the half. But if you're going to do this, you better have supreme trust in your quarterback. Supreme trust in...
There he goes, left side. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Saquon Barkley. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Giants are going to jump back in front. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
Rosas good with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This one taken just inside the 10. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. He'll find Metcalf. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. And finally down at the 36-yard line. It's a gain of 15, first down Seahawks. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So out comes the field goal team once more. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. Bullock's kick is good. And that will cut the lead down to just 2. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
That's complete to Slayton.
Good work, boys. Let's go.
So we come upon halftime here with the visiting Giants out on top. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things starting to get interesting in this final weekend before Thanksgiving. So let's see what's going on around the NFL. We'll start our tour out in the City of Angels, Los Angeles. And it's the Rams who are out in front in that one. Todd Gurley has a touchdown run. Next, we'll stay in the NFC West as we head up to Northern California, check on the Niners at home in Santa Clara. And at this point, they trail the visiting Baltimore Ravens. Marquise Brown, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. Finally, let's get over to Carson, see what's happening with the Chargers at home at Dignity Health Sports Park. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Minnesota Vikings. Royce Freeman has a couple of touchdowns there. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Second half ready to get rolling. The Giants with a lead, and they are set to receive this kick. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Saquon Barkley and the Giants offense set to kick off their next drive. And he's closing in on that often elusive 200-yard mark.
And you know he's celebrating what's going on. He may not know exactly where he is in yardage, but he has a pretty decent idea.
Come on, he knows.
Runners always know. But he's also in that huddle telling his offensive lineman, thank you.
And give me the ball.
Keep giving me the ball. You guys keep doing what you're doing. But a great appreciation of him, of the guys up front, and, of course, the guys on the perimeter. Those wide receivers, they'll give them some great blocking, too.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you turn that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
That's one of the dangers of the quick game. If you only have a 2- or 3-step drop, if you don't get the ball to someone open right away, those defenders are right near the line of scrimmage, and they can get on top of you in a heartbeat.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as a tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 44-yard line.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. A gain of 6 there on 1st. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
2nd and 4. Catch made by Slayton. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. Give him 18 there, and the Giants have a first down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Let it.
Mike 5-4.
You can't block me. You can't block me. Go.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
They go back to the ground now with Barkley. And he'll take this one down near the 15. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9. On 3rd down, he'll drop the throw. This is caught, and he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Evan Ingram, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that's the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the 3rd. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Well, the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the shotgun, Wilson. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
After the sack on first down, Wilson firing quickly here, and that's complete. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Wilson to throw on third down. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Cleveland Farrell in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to fourth down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the second time. This is away, and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. He's had quite the turnaround, Charles. At the start of the game, passing game was a little bit of a mess, but he's back on the horse, so to speak.
Love seeing how someone can rebound from a slow start or a tough start. Means that they're strong mentally. They've kind of calmed themselves down. Everyone's rallied around them. Maybe they even change game planning a little bit in order to make things better for them.
The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain.
Hey, Alpha! Get it!
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. It's Knox, the tight end, making the catch. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. First down, Giants on a pickup of 14.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
They keep it with Barkley on first down, and he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Hey, exit!
Looking to throw. He'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 22-yard line. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
Come on, set! 10-2 start!
A first down carry for Barkley. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. Oh, no, he lost the football.
I know you feel it.
Ready?
The Giants on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. They'll drop to throw. Forced out to his left. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs. That is an absolute backbreaker. That was a design passing play, wasn't a draw. You think you got him stopped, good coverage downfield, and he's able to pick up the first with his legs. Defensively, that kicks into your psyche and hurts a little bit, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and here's the thing. Anytime you give up a first down, it hurts you psychologically, but it hurts more when they get it this way because you've covered everything. He didn't have any place to throw the football. He takes off running and picks it up anyway, and now you have to stay on the field for an extra set of downs.
That really could have used that stop trailing here in the 4th. This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. Being chased, and he will score. Touchdown, Giants. It's their quarterback. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead.
Well, this was a pass all the way, but he just kept buying time, didn't he? It was kind of like, wait. Oh, it's open. Time to hot-foot it and go. And, boy, was he successful.
Yeah, didn't go to the outside toward the pylon, just straight ahead, middle third of the field.
Shortest distance between 2 points. Straight line.
PAT up and good by Rosas. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. A 10-play drive that time. And it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Wilson now throwing again. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. To throw is Wilson. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield.
I'm coming back. I'm coming back.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. They'll try and run for it. And this is going to come up well short as they stop him on 4th down. Mike Zimmer got to be unhappy with how that turned out. And the Giants are going to take over in great field position. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. The tackle there by Quandre Diggs.
60 outlaws. Hey, team 6. Team 6.
Here's a 2nd and 7. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jadeveon Clowney able to record his 5th sack of the season. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
Gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Rosa's kick is good. And that will make this now a 19-point advantage. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
This will be fielded at the 6. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 24. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Giants touchdown. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a 4th quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
Rosas to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 26. Back to the air, Wilson after the pick 6. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 11 yards there and a 1st down for Seattle. Wilson now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now this one complete on the slant route. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And he'll go down right around the 47 this time.
Here we go, here we go, here we go.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This will be 3rd and 6. To throw is Wilson, operating from the gun. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Let's go, baby.
The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the fourth quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now it looks like he'll throw here. Finding Knox there, complete. And they'll get this down to the 10. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get rid. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone can stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
That throw good for 4. It's second down. Looking to throw again on second down. Wilson. It's complete to Mitchell. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 26. Here's Wilson to throw. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. To throw again, Wilson. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Giants, They keep on rolling 10-0 now to start the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Buffalo to take on the Bills. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, they come back to the pack a bit as their record falls to 7-3. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Heinz Field to take on the Steelers. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.